Welcome back to FM Storey. In the last episode, we began season 15 of the Save, and things couldn't have got off to a better start. We've won every game we've played this season. We're already 8 points clear at the top of the table. We're 12 points clear of Rangers. We're 14 points clear of Celtic. We've already picked up a bit of silverware in the UEFA Super Cup. And now we just need to keep this run of form going. So without further ado, let's get into the action. It's the end of October and we've got a League Cup semi-final coming up against Ross County, and we ended the last episode with a 100% record in all competitions. We still have that 100% record in all competitions. First up was Hibs in the quarter-final of the League Cup, a pretty comfortable 2-0 victory. Dundee United in the league next, and we were brilliant in the first half, terrible in the second half. They got a goal late on in injury time, but thankfully we were able to hold on. We then went to Salzburg in the Champions League and came away with a 3-0 victory. It was made to look a lot more simple than it was, with a couple of late goals from Ash and Simoesh. We then beat Rangers 4-2 at Ibrox. We were 2-0 up. They pulled it back to 2-2, but we managed to grab the extra couple of goals in the second half to give us the victory. And then in the most recent league game, we beat Hibs 3-0. And again, another pretty comfortable victory. As far as the Champions League is concerned, we're currently sat second in the table, one of 4 teams with a 100% record through the opening 3 games. And as far as the league table is concerned, obviously we've won 11 from 11. We're 10 points clear of Aberdeen with a game in hand on them. We're 14 points clear of Rangers, having played the same number of games as them. We're 16 points clear of Celtic, having played a game less than them. So we are absolutely flying so far this season, and long may it continue. But now the attention turns to the League Cup semi-final, and given Ross County's form this season, we should hopefully win this pretty comfortably. This is the side we've picked for the semi-final. We've got a couple of injury concerns. So Cochise is actually out injured. So Tala's starting on the right. Goncalves, we're giving a rest to. Same with Alvarez and Pascual. So Thibaut starting at left back. Lacam starting with Nuevo in the defensive midfield roles, and Alan Kerr's getting a run out on the left hand side. Right, so we're going 4-2-3-1. They're going 4-4-2. And hopefully, as I said, we should have enough to get us through to the final here. All right, their keeper's gone long with the ball. Bordes wins a header. Milosavljevic looks long for Tala, who flicks it on. Rajkovic is trying to get in there. It's cleared only as far as Tala, who crosses towards the back post. Simoesh with a header. And that is us 1-0 in front after 10 minutes. And exactly what we were expecting, really. So Rajkovic is chasing it. The defender hurriedly clears it, only as far as Tala, who takes it past his man, just lifts that across the back post. Simoesh gets up. The defender didn't even get off the ground, and he directs the header past the keeper. Right, free kick. Simoesh goes for goal. Keeper didn't move, but unfortunately it was just over the top. Right, they've gone along with the throw. Thibaut cuts it out into Racklet in our own box, back to Thibaut, down the line to Rajkovic, onto Kerr, Lacam with space to move into, back to Kerr, going round the outside. It was cut out by the defender. Rajkovic hits it first time, far too much power for the keeper, and that's 2-0 up just after the half hour. So Lacam gives it back to Kerr here, who tries to go down the outside and then tries to go round the defender. The defender just blind pass into the box, and Rajkovic powers it through the keeper's hands. Right, Thibaut with the throw. Comes to Nuevo. Lacam into Tala. Wide to Milosavljevic on the overlap. Back to Lacam. To the edge of the area to Nuevo. Across the box for Kerr. Tala You've got to get a shot off sometime. Nuevo, Rajkovic fires it, hits the post. Simovic keeps it alive, cross to the back post, but Simovic was offside. And there we are, half-time, 2-0 up. Pretty comfortable so far. Hopefully more of the same in the second half. So we made one change at half-time. We brought Cameron home on through the middle just to give Simovic a rest. Right, Nuevo with a free kick. Aim towards Thala. Thaler's the one that actually retreats and picks it up. In to Lacam. Bordes to home. On to Kerr. Goes from distance. Keeper did not move at all. It comes crashing back off the post. And they clear it long up the field. Right, they've gone long with the goal kick. Milosavljevic heads it down to Rajkovic, and we're pouring forward here. Kerr into the edge of the area. Back to Rajkovic, and this one was easy for the keeper to hold on to. Right, they're attacking through the middle of the pitch here. They've gone down the left-hand side. And they've still got it down that left-hand side. Crossed into the box. We've got a head on it. It's volleyed back across. And then luckily that effort went over the top. And that's the first real sign of anything from them in this game. Right, Pascual to take the corner. Goes short to Thala. They've managed to cock that up big time. And then they've cleared long. Thibault goes back to pick it up. Into Bordes. Milosavljevic down the right. Back to Bordes. Milosavljevic. Into Lacam, onto Rajkovic, onto Pascual in the box. He tries to pull it back. It's blocked. And then they're taking the time to clear it. They've worked out pretty well from that down that right-hand side. But Pascual gets back to win it back. Into Lacam, onto Thala. Milosavljevic was spaced down the right-hand side. Crosses. It's headed up in the air. Rajkovic helps it on. What a pass from Rajkovic to Thala. What most people would have done was just hammered the volley at goal once it comes out the sky like that. But cushions the pass. So Milosavljevic with the cross. It's headed up in the air. Rajkovic could have just hit that on the volley, but he just helps it across to Thala. And he fires home from the edge of the 6-yard box. Right, Varga to Bordes. Lacam, Thala, Rajkovic, Pascual, Lacam back to Nuevo, over the top for Thala, first time ball into Lacam, what a move, 4-0, and we are really dominating this game and laying down a marker in the competition here. Pascual goes out, Lacam back to Nuevo, first time ball forward, controlled volley by Thala. Lacam takes a touch and then fires past the keeper. Right, Lacam back to Ricciuli, out to Varga. Further left to Thibault. Down the line to Pascual. Infield to Rajkovic. Defender blocked the first pass. Then a return ball to Pascual. Keeper got his angles all wrong. And Pascual scores at the near post for 5-0. And 5 different goal scorers as well. Shared the goals around today. Pascual into Rajkovic. He tries to play the ball through to Cameron Home. The defender blocks it. And then the reverse pass back to Pascual. Keeper's angles are all wrong. And an easy finish in the end for Pascual. And then from the kickoff, they're going forward down the left. They've given the ball away to Nuevo. He plays it forward to Rajkovic. And we're streaming forward again. He's looked for Pascual, but it's been cut out. And then they've played the ball in behind. Can Varga get back? He can't get back to block the cross. And they've scored. And we just got a bit too gung-ho there. Everyone was streaming forward. And it left space in behind. I mean, he slowed the cross up, but once the cross comes in, there's 2 defenders and a goalkeeper there. And none of them position themselves very well at all there. And then from the subsequent kickoff, Nuevo to Varga, out to Thibault. He goes down the outside, crosses into the box, home with the header, and he should have scored. Right, Rajkovic now bringing us forward. Pasquale on the left with loads of space. Defender half cut out. He squares it. Rajkovic should be at least hitting the target there, and that was high over the bar. Milosavljevic with throw. Rajkovic. Lakam. Rajkovic again. Cuts onto his left foot. Tries to pass it into the back of the net, but it goes straight to the keeper. Rajkovic has been our best creative player in this game. Nuevo with the throw. Home back to Nuevo. And that was just, what was that? Then they've cleared it. Only as far as Milosavljevic. Rajkovic heads it back to Nuevo. Approaching the edge of the area. Goes from distance, but just can't keep the effort down. Full time. And I'm not sure that a semi-final victory can be much more convincing than that. 5-1. We actually played really well. We're actually really quite threatening as well in terms of forcing the keeper to do things. Now it's just time to revert back to the league and the Champions League until the middle of December, probably, when the final will be. We're approaching the end of November and we've got a big game in the Champions League coming up against PSG. We are still unbeaten this season. We have, though, drawn our first game of the season. After the game against Ross County in the League Cup semi-final, we went away to Besiktas in the Champions League and a comfortable 4-0 victory. We then followed that up with a 4-2 victory against Hearts. We were 4-0 up at half-time and then took our foot off the gas a bit in the second half, and they got 2 goals. And then in the most recent league game, we drew 1-1 with Aberdeen. We required a similar equaliser in the second half to get that point. And now we go into a Champions League tie against PSG, who have 3 of our former players amongst their squad. So hopefully we can pick up a victory to keep ourselves at the top of the league phase. So this is the side we're going into the game against PSG with. Obviously they're managed by Thomas Tuchel. There are all 3 of our former players are in the side. The skipper Vivino at the centre of defence. We've got Sretton Gulis at left back, and we've got Jose Rocha up front. We've got our strongest available team out. We're missing Kerr and Thibaut, who are both injured, but hopefully we've got enough to continue this 100% record this season in the Champions League. So they're 4-4-2, we're 4-2-3-1. Right, a free kick for them. Short to Rocha on the edge of the area, and his shot has Riccioli scrambling across his goal, but it goes wide. Right, they're trying to pass it out from the back. They've played it up to Musiala over the top of Rocha, who must have been offside. I mean, he looked... it might just be they're following the ball and everything like that, but he looked a good 5 yards offside there, and it has been disallowed. So the ball's played up to Musiala, he turns and lifts it over, and yeah, it was well offside. I mean, he took it down well and finished well, but thankfully the flag went up. Gvardiol to Gulis. We've given the ball away, Milosavljevic gets back to pick it up, goes back to Riccioli. He goes long. And now they're bringing it out down the right-hand side this time. Back into Vivino at the back. And then they've gone back to Diego Costa in goal, who goes long. But Rakla wins the header. Rajkovic to Pasquale with space. Going down that left-hand side, gets to the byline, pulls it back to Alvarez, into Goncalves, and fires it past Diego Costa to give us a 1-0 lead. And fairly against the run of play based on the chances that we've seen. Certainly against the possession, they've had 62% possession, but we've managed to take the lead. Alvarez just drops it into Goncalves, takes a touch, and then just hits it from the edge of the area, and the keeper got nowhere near it. Right, so Diego Costa goes out to Gulis on the left-hand side. He is under pressure on Tala, and now we're breaking Pasquale into Simowish in the box, and he just pulled his shot across goal. From the resultant goal kick, they go short. Gvardiol into the midfield, passes it into the midfield. Musiala turns back to the centre of midfield, but Rajkovic gets back and wins it. Pascual into Rajkovic. Out to Alvarez. Rajkovic again. Lovely ball out to the right to Tala. Lifts the cross in. Nuevo to Pascual in the box. And then Alvarez fires it in. And now they're breaking away. Down the right hand side, Rocha. Infield, back to Rocha. And then Alvarez gets back to win the ball. And there we are, half time, 1-0 up. We've probably created the better chances despite having a lot less possession. We just need to make sure we keep it tight in the second half. Right, so we needed to make 3 changes at half time just to get some fresh legs on and get some tired players off the pitch. Right, Costa out to Goulis. He's going back into Guardiol. Duffy gets across to win it. Pascual to Simoes, back to Duffy. It breaks for Simoes in the box, and he fires past Diego Costa and doubles our lead just before the hour to put us in a bit more of a stronger position. Kodima just dwelled on it. Duffy got in to nick it. Pascual to Simoes. Duffy overran it, but it came off the defender. Simoes puts it in the bottom corner, and that's us 2-0 up. Right, Rackler. Up to Pascual, back to Rackler. Across to Turnbull with space to move into down the right hand side. He plays it down the line for Cochise, who's just come on. And he's run off it, but a terrible back pass. And there's Simoes in to get his second. And his second that's come from bad defending by PSG. So Turnbull plays it down the line. Pascual looks to drive into the box, but the defender gets across. And then the centre midfielder just doesn't look, plays a back pass to the keeper. And Simoes is the only one that reacted. A throw for them deep in our half. The ball's worked into the box, and there's a great save by the keeper to turn it behind for a corner. And the corner comes in. It's headed up in the air by Turnbull at the near post. Simoes helps it on. And we managed to get it clear. Right, free kick for them, short. Effort from distance, it comes back off the bar. But this is an offside being given there by the looks of it. Right, throw for them. Musiala. Poor pass, Duffy picks it off. Lacam bringing it forward. Still going. Duffy takes it off him from the edge of the area, hits the bar, and it's headed away for a throw into us. And there we go, full time. And what in the end was a pretty comprehensive 3-0 victory against PSG. Still 100% record in the Champions League, and things continue to go well this season. We're now at the end of November, and so far this season has been outstanding. We've played one more game since that game against PSG in the Champions League. We won 6-1 at home against Ross County in the league. Unfortunately, we did suffer a couple of injuries to Rajkovic and to Cochise in that game. But we are still top of the table. We're 10 points clear of Aberdeen, who we've played 2 games less than. We're 12 points clear of Rangers, who we've played the same number of games as. And we're 18 points clear of Celtic, who we've played 1 game less than. So, as far as the league's concerned, everything's going pretty well. Champions League, we're second in the league phase, one of only 2 teams with a 100% record in the Champions League this season. We've already won the UEFA Super Cup, and coming up in the next episode, we've got yet another League Cup final against Rangers as well. So join us next time to see how we get on that, see if we can add another trophy to the cabinet and see whether there's any action in the January transfer window. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.